Hello everyone and welcome back to another paperback journey where today I'm going to be reintroducing an old friend of mine. It's time for Fiction Roulette. I'm going to let this wheel decide what I'm going to be reading in the month of May. I did it for the first time last month and I had a lot of fun doing it, and so I'm going to be doing it again this month. I've only written books that I'm interested in reading, obviously. There's no booby prizes. It's all top quality stuff that I'm really excited to read, and so yeah, I'm excited to get going and see what's going to be on my TBR for May. So just to let you know what's on the wheel, I'll go through it one by one. I've got Cold People. Cold People is a book about an alien invasion where the inhabitants of Earth need to move to, I think it's Antarctica. That's the only terrain where they're going to be able to keep out of the aliens' way, where they're going to be able to survive the alien invasion. So I don't know if it's mainly about the alien invasion itself or if it's about the community that they build in Antarctica, but I'm really excited to find out. Next, we have this dark patch. So this dark patch here, and it goes for this one at the bottom as well. This basically represents a return to the journey to the Dark Tower. If you don't already know, I'm currently reading the extended multiverse of the Dark Tower. So not just the series of 6 or 7 books, however many it is. I'm actually reading the entire multiverse, so that includes it includes Salem's Lot, it includes The Stand, it includes a lot of books that are kind of connected in some way to the series of the Dark Tower. Last month, I read Wizard and Glass, or rather this month I should say, I read Wizard and Glass and I read The Mist, and so I think if it lands on this, I'm going to be reading Salem's Lot. That's going to be the next in the series of the multiverse. So next one we have The Paris Apartment. This is a murder mystery thriller written by Lucy Foley, and I'm really excited to read that because I also read The Guest List. I really enjoyed The Guest List a lot. I think she's quite an atmospheric writer, so that'll be a great one. Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. Again, you know, this is one of those where I'm in it for the author. I really enjoyed The Martian, and so that'll be cool to see what the new sci-fi is going to be from Andy Weir. The next one is Pillars of Earth. This one I'm a little bit intimidated by. It's historical fiction written by Ken Follett. The reason I'm intimidated is because it's pretty dense. It's set in England in the 12th century. The characters are constructing a cathedral, but there's also a lot of political intrigue. There's a master builder, there's a monk, there's a noblewoman, there's a lot of characters, and all of their stories are interwoven. So that sounds fascinating. This one here, The Illustrated Man by Ray Bradbury. It's a classic, but I've never got around to reading it. As I understand it, it's a collection of short stories that there's a man who is covered in tattoos. I think his tattoos come to life, and each one of them tell him a short story about space travel, time travel, you know, all that sci-fi stuff. So yeah, Ray Bradbury, I like him a lot. I've never read The Illustrated Man, but I just really enjoy Bradbury's prose. I think it's very poetic, very beautiful. Then we've got Swan Song. Swan Song is an apocalyptic post-apocalyptic drama that was recommended by a few of my viewers, so I appreciate everyone that recommended this to me. It was recommended after I think everyone saw how much I enjoyed The Stand by Stephen King. Apparently it's quite similar. Some people think it's better, so I'll be excited to find out if it is. Hopefully we land on yellow. Next is If We Were Villains. This is quite heavy. If We Were Villains is a story about a prisoner who's been locked up for 10 years. I think as the reader, you're unsure whether or not the protagonist actually committed the crime. But it's some horrific crime that was committed in his days of college with his friends when they were performing a theatre production. Finally, we have Beartown by Frederick Buckman. And again, this is one of those where the synopsis to me sounds a little bit ambiguous. There's a small town that's in love with ice hockey. They're passionate about ice hockey, and then some crime is committed, and the town has to question their character, or each individually and as a community. But the real reason that I want to read this is because it's written by Frederick Buckman. I really, really liked A Man Called Uwe. Is it A Man Called Uwe or A Man Named Uwe? Called Uwe, I think. Yeah, I really like that book. I cried multiple times. I want to cry again. So maybe we'll land on blue. Just to set the rules before I spin, we're going to be picking a total of 4 books for the month of May. And what we're going by is this wiggly bit here, not this arrow. So if the wiggly bit points like this, we're going to go for the red. If it points center, we're going to go for the blue, right? You get the idea? Okay, so let's give it a go. This is the bit where I get nervous. Okay, it's time again for Fiction Roulette. Let's give it a spin. What will we be reading in the month of May? First book. See what I mean about this wiggly bit? It's the Dark Tower. We're back to the Dark Tower. All right, so that means Salem's Lot. Salem's Lot is the first book that I will be reading in the month of May. Exciting. All right, ready? Again? What I get? If We Were Villains. Okay, very cool, very cool. All right, so a kind of psychological thriller, murder, mystery. Yeah, all right, great. So that's cool. So horror and thriller. Let's see what we get for the third book in the month of May. Ooh. Beartown. All right, Beartown. So a little bit of levity, I hope. Well, there's still a murder. Still sounds like there still might be a murder, but still, that a mixture of emotions. I'm gonna be scared. I'm gonna be nervous. I'm gonna be crying. Are there any happy books? I don't really do happy books, so yeah, sorry. All right. Anyway, the fourth book that I'm gonna be reading in the month of May is. Oh, If We Were Villains. Okay, already picked that one, so we go again. Cold People. All right, so it's a sci-fi. That's a good mixture. Horror, thriller, contemporary, sci-fi. Nice. Nice. That's a lovely balance. I'm excited about this. This month is going to be really great. I love this thing. And it's good. Are you enjoying it? Do you like this? If you would like to see my review of Salem's Lot, you can probably click up here and you're going to be taken to that. So if you'd like to be reading the same books as me in the month of May, click up here. Let's go on a paperback journey together. Dropping in the old brand name. See, that's called branding. Digital branding, that's called. I'll see ya in the next paperback journey. Have a good one.